Alright, welcome back to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. This YouTube channel is dedicated to showing you advanced battlefield tactics in Bannerlord to help you dominate your world. In this episode, we're making a bit of a foray against the Western Empire in the south. They have become major players in my current campaign, harassing us non-stop, and some of our forces down here were raiding and whatnot before they were ganged up on by this huge Western Empire force. So we're going to fly in here last minute and try to rescue some of these groups, some of these forces. There's one valiant person holding out there, so we're gonna take them on here. We were able to get into battle. All right, so 1,200 against 3,000. What? No big deal. We're running at normal player damage. There was a number of comments recently about how people would prefer to see me run under normal player damage. Well, it is possible in battles like this that I'll be knocked from my horse in the first 10 minutes, and it won't be worth recording. But we're going to do this as often as possible because there does seem to be a strong opinion that this is the most pure way to play, even when you're outnumbered almost 3-1 like this. So I'm retreating a little bit into the hills here. Western Empire typically has a large amount of Imperial cataphract, and I'm looking for a pocket. This is a really messy battlefield, and I think that's going to play into our battlefield strategy here. It looked like the units were bearing down on us. If they don't approach us and force us to attack, the battle's going to be even harder. But hoping that they come play into our strengths here, we're going to set up a bit of a defensive cordon here in the trees. This little steep ridge in front will prevent their archers from coming over this ridge and pounding us, at least without us having arguments against it. And I've made a V. I can't tell if those are horse archers or heavy cavalry. I've made a V with my 2nd and 3rd cavalry wings in shield wall, kind of providing an unnatural barrier on the 2 weak flanks. So there's protection there, and yeah, so it's horse archers. They got a band of horse archers about 50 deep, but I've got to watch their heavy cavalry divisions. Look, they have 225 heavy cavalry. That's like almost as many troops as I have total. So I'm going to have to be very cognizant of their heavy cavalry. Now within this little V formation, of course, we're going to spread out our archers, skirmishers, and our elite 8th division. Also at the front, I think at the front, it'll depend on what the formation looks like, what the terrain offers. Do a little skirmishing here. Oh yeah, they're pushing up. They're pushing up, but they're kind of defensive. We'll see how this plays out. Nevertheless, for at least the time being, we're going to kind of hope that they get aggressive / stupid and attack us on our own terms. Took that guy out with a javelin to the neck. Alright, so we're going to set up our 1st infantry in here as well, but the idea basically is that we're going to protect this little area. This becomes our Alamo. You can see I've got cavalry in a nice V shape. I think we'll do a little bit of cleaning of the formations here. So you see the 1st infantry is dragged across from it. So it's not, oh shit, they're already charging in. Okay, gotta handle these guys quick. Fortunately, this is 150 cavalry charging in against our 200 and something troops, right? So at least we have a very good chance of slowing it down. I'll have to keep an eye on the rest of their forces. It does not appear that anybody else except their heavy cavalry and archers are coming in. Whenever the enemy attacks you like this, right, with isolated pockets, instead of all at once, take advantage. Although that is a fuck ton of cavalry. We're going to go to work on this. Now you see the ranged units are just pounding. That cavalry division right there, the one in front of me is the 3rd, is doing exactly what I wanted it to. It's completely slowed 90% of the enemy heavy cavalry attack. You can see how the center of the V is still fairly protected, and their cavalry is all jammed up like rush hour traffic against our 2nd it's our 3rd cavalry, and they're being shot to pieces. You see all the arrows and darts flying through there? Right, this is a disaster for the enemy. Now in this battle we're going to have to conserve ammunition against 3,000 troops. This battle rates to take a good 20, maybe 25, 30 minutes. So you will see me holding fire from time to time, probably gathering my own ammunition as well. I've got the horse archers following me. Still see kills. Okay, so their horse archers are following in on this left side of the battle, our left flank. Keep those archers on fire. I want this infantry line though spread out and a nice top to our V here. because eventually I anticipate them sending infantry. We'll see. Sometimes the enemy will kind of sit back and make you attack them. It's important to understand the game, the mechanics behind initiative. If you're the one attacked, right, and in this case we attacked, the enemy is not required to attack you. It can just sit there until you fucking die a pixelated death. In this case, oh man, these hills are hard to. You're shooting the whole battlefield, right? You only want them shooting when the enemy is present. Your archers will attempt shots like 200 units away. Let's peek what's going on here. They're just sitting there. So I've got a couple different things I can do to sort of spur an attack. The first is pound the enemy. If the enemy's in a situation where they're dying, they will make adjustments. Sometimes you can spur the enemy to move by killing their units. So what I'm doing here is I'm stretching my 3rd Cavalry in a defensive shield wall right in front of the face of the enemy. Meanwhile, behind them, I've positioned the 4th and 5th archers to rain down arrows into that valley. Right? If I just sent the archers there, they would get withered by an incredibly heavy. Wow, they're sending cavalry in. I have to watch that. They would get hammered by enemy archers because they'd be, have no protection.
Follow me!
I might have to pull in one of my infantry units to push back this cavalry. See, my archers are getting attacked by cavalry. Obviously, they're not gonna have much effect attacking. It seems kind of like a pretty weak attempt by the enemy, though, to disrupt us. So the 3rd Cavalry is still holding there. They're getting shot. I saw a guy die a few seconds ago. But most of those guys are just holding tight. There goes another fella. Meanwhile, my archers are shooting down that valley. I do see a lot of darts making its way up here, though. So I'm probably just gonna have this skirmish for a few more seconds here. Fire off a few javelins out there. Getting low on ammo myself. I mean, maybe we're softening them, but I actually think we're taking the worst of this. Now, this is a good battle where I can have my units pick up ammunition. You can actually see them already reaching down. You'll see your archers moving around, picking up ammo. In a ranged battle like this, right, that's effectively what we have, is we have a ranged duel here. Their ranged units against our ranged units, at least for the present. You want to maximize your output of damage. You want to make sure that you're not wasting a lot of ammunition. And anytime you see large amounts of ammunition on the ground, you want to take advantage of that. Now, units will pick up ammunition, but not if it's a lot of distance away. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe like from where I am to some of these bigger trees, 4, 5, 6 paces, they will pick up ammunition. But archers won't walk like 30 feet to go pick up arrows that are on the ground. So you can physically move these guys around. Anytime you see, and I'm not seeing a whole lot here, but anytime you see a lot of arrows on the ground, like if the enemy's shooting at you and a lot of the shots are, missing and landing on the ground, you can have your guys go over and pick up those arrows. In this case, they must have a little pocket where they have good line of sight. Now you'll see me do this a lot. The 3rd Cavalry is in a nice shield wall there. What that's doing is absorbing a lot of the darts that the enemy is shooting at us. But our archers obviously have windows. The same thing you see in a castle or a keep, right? Where they have those little windows, right? Well, those windows here in slow-mo, you can zoomed in, you can really see that my archers are having their way with theirs. They're called murder holes in keeps. It's basically those little windows where you can peek out and shoot the enemy, but it's very difficult for them to shoot in. It's the same concept with the cavalry, right? The cavalry are providing this wall, this block, where archers can be right next to them, shooting through sort of the openings, and a lot of the arrows that the enemy is shooting is hitting the cavalry. And it's a very similar idea, and it's very effective, as you can tell from the death stat. This is not like weak archers beating up strong archers beating up on weak archers. We're killing their elite archers that have shields and good armor at range, in no small part because of this cavalry wall. Let's see if we can get a little better angle, and I'm moving them over. I wish I could tell them to climb that tree. Climb that tree, boys, and pick up some ammo. Now, one of the difficulties here is the enemy has a lot of crossbowmen, and so they're not actually shooting arrows. Obviously, your Britannian Fiend champions, your good high-level archers are not going to be able to pick up bullets. It doesn't do them any good. The game doesn't work like that. I know it's not the most thrilling part. Sometimes battles go like this. This might be a battle I end up leading. But this is a necessary tactic. Some battles might not be as exhilarating with this dramatic movement of troops. So you see these arrows in here. I'm going to physically drag my archers down and tell these guys to pick them up. All these little blue things on the ground, and you can see these guys are just running in and scooping them up. Anytime the enemy misses with their arrows, right, that's an enemy that's dead later on. Right? Our guys pick up arrows. They'll pick up the full quivers too. If there are full quivers laying on the ground, right, that's just gold for your archers. You might get 15, 20 arrows out of that. I've had some people in previous episodes say that the artificial intelligence doesn't run out of ammunition. I don't think that's true at all. It might be true in some siege situations, but definitely not in battles like this. Their archers run out of, they're starting to creep up. Their archers run out of ammo, and so will ours. Alright, let's move our infantry around here. What we're effectively going to do is create a crease here, a little bit of a channel, that if the enemy comes in, we're going to collapse these two flanks on them. If they come over that ridge, they're going to get met with a murderous hail of javelins, and then our infantry divisions can collapse on both sides. Boy, they sure are hesitant though. These guys are like a fucking sophomore asking a junior out to the prom, and they're fucking terrified. We're definitely winning the archery duel. Their guys are coming over that ridge, and you're gonna get shot off your horse, but you have no chance. You'll notice I grabbed a shield. Any kind of an archery duel like this, very early on, you want to grab yourself a shield. So I've got my cavalry out there skirmishing now. I'm trying to cause enemy movement. Sometimes attacking them with cavalry causes enough motion. I think we may eventually just charge this fucking indolent mass here. They're just sitting there. They outnumber us 2 or 3 to 1, and they have no interest in fighting. I think we've softened them up sufficiently that it's time to get aggressive here. This is very dangerous, of course, as we come over this hillside. They have the exact same tactical advantage that I was just talking about us having, right? They're putting their heads up over this hill, and they're going to get shot to pieces, right? So this movement has to be quick. It has to be a ferocious attack, and it needs to be all units concentrated, right? So I'm staying behind my shield. Units are pouring over the edge. The cavalry is told to charge, and let's see what kind of a fracas we can make out of this. This is more brute force, right? If there is a tactical advantage to a battle like this, and get in here and swing my axe a little bit. If there is a tactical advantage to a battle like this, it's that you're concentrating your firepower, right? Now the enemy is somewhat too, but they've been significantly weakened by that archery duel. Fucking dropping words. Now the enemy is starting to waver. When the enemy starts to waver like that, get even more aggressive. Move your archers up and plow in there, right? Because enemies that are routing, enemies that are pulling back, you want to aggressively attack. No mercy. Now this is a bit of an organized retreat. That must be because they have units coming down. Yeah, and there they are. They're on the other side of that hill. So we can come in here and attack, but it has to be sudden. It has to be quick, because very quickly they're going to have reinforcements. And here they come. They're also going to be coming down that hill. I think we might even pull back. See, the momentum is a real thing, both in real life and in Bannerlord battles. That cavalry is effectively going to be able to stall our attack, right? That's like 80 or 100 heavy cavalry. They're armored. They do a lot of damage. And behind them, the enemy is starting to muster forces. So we can kind of attack this cavalry here, but now their archers are coming down. We're going to have to pull these forces back. So archers back up on the hill. We'll put the skirmishers and 8th Corps with them. We'll put the cavalry in front. This is turning into a bit of a scrum at this stage, but at least we have action. Sometimes you have to initiate action even if there's a significant cost. I think as a contingency plan, where the fuck are my reinforcements? I keep looking for reinforcements and none appear. As a contingency plan, we're going to pull back all the way to the... Here we go, finally. As a contingency plan, we will pull back to these hills way back here. Getting speared. These kind of movements are very, very, very dangerous, right? The enemy's moving in on us now, and our forces are sort of disjointed. They're uncoordinated. So I'm going to position archers and ranged units up on that hill. This is the problem with being outnumbered so severely, right? We're working with 250-ish troops while the enemy pours in 600, 700, 800. I've got my cavalry in a defensive line. This little ridge, the enemy will have to come over, right? That's a tactical advantage. We're going to need it, though. This is thick fucking enemies. I've got my infantry in a line there to attack any enemies that come right over. I'm also having a hard time figuring out, let's see, I've got, so that they gave me the 8th. The 8th Corps now is mostly reinforcement infantry. We're going to position our archers, of course, towards the back. Here come the heavy cavalry. We send our cavalry in with their shields up. Take out whatever of these heavy cavalry that we can. Archers have a nice position back there, but I know the enemy force is coming hot and heavy. There's got to be a huge horde of troops about. There already is actually a bunch of infantry right there. It'd be nice if I could push up on them here. I'm charging right now. That's a huge amount. If we could push up on this infantry, what we can do is we can prevent their archers really from gaining purchase here, gaining a foothold over that ridge. They're starting to already. I can see them shooting up there. I've got to try to do something about them shooting down. See, we'll lose an archery duel like this. Like in the open field like this, it's not going to work for us. Let's see what we can do. I've got so many infantry in front of me. If I push my infantry through at this stage, they will suffer serious losses, and there won't be enough of them to really slow down the enemy. That guy took 230 hit points before he dropped. I mean, 230, he was still swinging away. So this is very tough enemy force. Probably like the Western Empire king and a bunch of high-level nobles over there. We're going to send in our last little 25-30 infantry here in a little desperate way. When you have archers that are attacking like this, it's risky to charge them like this, but it's worse to stand there and just let them rain death on you, right? They have elevation. There's a big group of them that are nicely spread out. I've got to get kind of aggressive in here and push this archery way back, or this battle's fucking over. And the infantry line is just getting immolated. I was going to say, I have fucking no reinforcements. They keep coming in. Of course, reinforcements tend to come in from where you started the battle. I had 164 and he like kept on charging. It's like I'm attacking. She killed my horse instantly as soon as I got on it. Alright, at least the reinforcements are coming in right on the flank of the enemy. That's definitely going to help. I can send all these high-level, moderate to high-level infantry right in, and look at the death span. Right? This guy's just launched into battle. This battle is kind of going back and forth in a seesaw. Whoever's got reinforcements that are fresh pulled up to the front, which is like real life. Oftentimes in battle, whoever managed to pull reinforcements up at the right time, wins the battle, wins the fight. In big battles like this, where it can take a half hour and there are three or four waves, you want to be highly cognizant of where your reinforcements are at all times. Like you need to basically, early on, pinpoint where they'll probably be coming in, and then anticipate that, right? It's about when 30, 40, 50% of your force is dropped, you start getting reinforcements. They got that. That infantry's pushing in, man, but man, we are still badly outnumbered. I mean, it's just a fucking ocean of the enemy. We're going to have to charge with these archers, otherwise they're fucking toast. I've got a few brave members of the 8th Corps left. My 8th Corps is my elite unit. That's like my highest level companions and family members. More reinforcements. Well, they're off to the side, so they're not really initially in the greatest battle spot, but at least I can move them in sort of a flanking attack on the enemy. Barrel in here and try to do some more disrupting. see way back there on the left, the enemy's getting reinforcements. That's 400 archers they have coming. Still, right now, we have the tactical advantage from our reinforcements. And so it's a sea of green as we mop up this force. That's one of the advantages of the enemy coming to you. You have to approach the enemy across the whole battlefield. One of the most difficult parts is your reinforcements are not going to be coming right away. They're going to be delayed. They're going to have to run 200, 300, 400 game units to get to you. It's going to be literally a minute or two before your reinforcements are brought into battle. Got lots of these light cavalry. These light cavalry are absolutely jello to my axe. I mean, it's just a shake, wobble, and destruction time. Also, cavalry that are standing still are basically fucked. Your cavalry, your main advantage they derive is their speed, their charge damage. If they're standing still, swinging their little, 8-inch scimitar, these guys are basically toast. Let's see what I got here. I got a cavalry wing I can send up there. The archers are still pretty well protected on that back knoll. They're putting out some great damage output. I'm going to send this cavalry up to harass the enemy here. Enemy's not wavering, right? It might look like they're routing, but what they're doing, of course, is they're falling back to their reinforcements. They have at least one more wave in them. Trees are your friend when cavalry are charging you, right? Just stand behind them and wait for the cavalry to run into the trees and then just obliterate them. Alright, so we're going to get the archers off here to our right flank. It's going to be perilous moving them like that, but I think we need to do that. They have a huge block of troops here. My archers are going to take a second. You can use horses too also. Like I can't charge him. There's a big wall of steel right in his face. Once he's slowed down, kill his ass. Alright, my archers are coming out in a big sweeping arc here. I think we're going to make a sacrificial charge here against this. It's almost 500 of the enemy. They're in a huge coordinated group. Our archers are raining death. This is going to be costly. In fact, we may even be annihilated here, but we're going to be able to do some major damage to the enemy. This is the 1st Infantry, Cavalry, and our Elite 8th Corps all coming in at the same time. In we go.
Infantry! Footmen move! Horsemen, cavalry, line formation!
There you go, bitches. You can see the numbers are already dwindling. We don't have enough people to finish this attack. Pull out your shield, when you need to make commands like this. Deck guys right into your enemy, or right into your ally's sword. The cavalry are pouring in. The archers have a really nice flanking angle. So they might have won that first round there in that battle. The old saying is you don't want to win the battle and lose the war. Well, that's exactly what the enemy just had happen. They did a pretty good number there on our 40 to 50 troops. But now we have reinforcements. Our archers are in position. They're absolutely raining death. And the enemy is fleeing. Be careful here. I'm going to be taking the dirt now. I've learned to play the game a lot more cautiously as I've played more and more battles with how the fuck did he survive that? As I've played more battle with normal player damage, this guy is just Energizer Bunny. It's not quite as enjoyable for me, but I understand it's more realistic, right? Now in battles where it's 5,000 against my 2,000, I'm probably still going to be running reduced player damage because I think the battle's epic, and it's extremely difficult to survive a half-hour, 45-hour-long battle unless you have the damage slightly reduced. I'm still working to get the real-time strategy mod set up. It's not working currently with the version I'm on, but eventually we'll have that, and then I won't need to adjust my player damage at all. I'll just be able to switch over to another character once I'm dropped. Alright, so we're dragging cavalry here. I know the enemy's going to have a large wave of archers, probably right through here. Holy shit, they're packed in. I can get killed if I don't get out of here. You can spur your horse repeatedly, and that'll help you get out of situations like that. So they're densely packed. That's fine. You guys want to stand there? We flank with our archers. I've got cavalry set up in a V. Alright, this is there's a lot of different terminology for it. Sometimes people will say it's like a swan attack. Pulling these guys off the side. They're just getting raked with archery fire, and in we go. Right? Cavalry charging one side, archery fire on the other, and body parts flying off on the third side. It's all over now but the slaughter. The enemy's trying to reform, but their morale is also breaking. That's why they keep running forward and backward. Half of these troops just want to go home. I'll keep advancing with our archers here on this flank. They got 200 or 300 troops off there in the distance. That's probably their last reinforcement wave. In fact, I won't be surprised if all the troops are now routing. This doesn't look like they're reforming anymore. This looks like a rout. Anytime you see them running and they're paying no attention to their defense, they're just flat running, that's probably it. In that case, of course, you can send units on full charge, but you want to just finish the battle. It's a pretty evening for some killing, don't you think? Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. There's over 100 episodes now on our channel showing advanced tactics in all kinds of different scenarios. Of course, in this scenario, we demonstrated the use of a defensive stand and then a timed charge using concentrated forces to destroy the enemy. There's many different tactical approaches to defeating an enemy. In this case, we chose sort of a transitional attack where you play defense at first and then move to the offense once the enemy's weakened. Please subscribe if you're interested in more videos like this. Like, comment, all that good stuff. It helps bring more people to the channel. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you next time.